Yo, and welcome back to a new video. So today, I am going to be doing my Season 8, Fear the Walking Dead Season 8 death predictions. It's going to be an interesting one. We have a decent amount of characters, some OGs from Season 1, some joined in the reboot of Season 4, and a couple of other people. It's going to be an interesting video because there are people that I don't want to die that I think will die. And I think there's a couple of my opinions here that might drift a lot from what everyone else is thinking. But there are some deaths that I think there really is a chance of them happening. And some deaths that I just think would be ridiculous if they happened. But let's get into them. Let's get into them. The first character I'm going to do is Morgan. Okay, so Morgan, I think Morgan might die. I understand that maybe I could do it yes or no. But I think Morgan is, in my opinion, one of my opinions that will cause diversity. I think that the majority of people don't think that Morgan's going to die. But I do. Because, personally to me, Morgan ruined Fear the Walking Dead. Not Lenny James. His acting is fantastic. The fact that, he acts out this character so well that drives me crazy. It's the way that Morgan is written. And Morgan, the character, has come and ruined Fear the Walking Dead. If Althea, June, and John Dory joined the cast of Fear Season 4, it might have been a bit different, but it wouldn't have been that bad. But Morgan, his ideals, who he was pushed to the centre of the show. And so, I can't say that I don't want him to die, that I don't think he's going to die, that I think he's going to be in another spin-off. He might be in another spin-off, chances are he will be, but I think that he's going, but I think that maybe he can die. I wouldn't put it past the showrunners. It would definitely be impactful. There's lots of reasons why he shouldn't die though. I mean, Mo is a big one, Grace is another one, so maybe. Morgan might die. Chances are he won't, but I am going to put it out there that Madison could be the kind of person that could come into these other spin-off shows and do things that Morgan would, like save Rick, for example. People think Morgan's going to do that. I hope Morgan and Madison do that. But if Morgan dies, I would not be the most upset. Alright, so Madison, I do not think that Madison is going to die. I think absolutely not. Madison deserves her own spin-off. She deserves a spin-off with Alicia. The Clark family plus Strand deserve a spin-off. And I wouldn't be... the whole OG cast of Fear that is still alive deserves a spin-off. And maybe a couple other characters, but only like 2. Or even just like 1. Like, I don't know, like June, Althea maybe. That wouldn't be the worst thing if she's not annoying with the camera, but whatever. Madison does not deserve to die. Bringing her back... it would be stupid if they killed her off again. It would be so stupid if they killed her off again. I do not think that she's going to die. I think that we're going to see her in a spin-off. I think there's a chance that if Morgan doesn't die, she's going to go with him to help Rick. I think even if Morgan is dead, I think that Madison is going to go and help Rick. Or she might see Daryl. Or she might see Negan and Maggie. I think she might even just get her own spin-off. Or maybe she'll be a part of their spin-off and get her own spin-off. I think that Madison has so much potential in the Walking Dead universe. Maybe the writers might go down the route with her and originally what Dave Erickson had planned with Fear the Walking Dead. Or maybe Madison is just now a good person. And that's absolutely fine. Well, it's not. But in terms of, we see how she is now. Strand was a villain. Madison's back. Let's just make her a good person. I think she has potential. I don't think she's going to die. Alright, next, so we have Luciana. I really like Luciana, but I think she is going to die. I think that she's so underrated. I think maybe she's not the best person, or even the best written character in Season 7, and she does just kind of float around from Season 4 to Season... from Season 4 to Season 7, she floats around. I'm rewatching Season 3, so I'm going to get a better idea of how she's in Season 3. I loved her in Season 2. She developed, and she kind of was someone that didn't want to help and was just someone in a community and had faith. And eventually she kind of... it just evolved a bit and became more I can't describe it. I mean, I don't have the right words. Isn't a season 2 review, but I really do like Luciana, and she's an OG Fear member. I think it's sad, but I think she will die, and I think that's how it's gonna go. There's not really much to say about her because she literally does nothing. Like, in season 4, I guess she does a bit more because she's in the flashbacks and she's part of the stadium, but really, besides the episode Ophelia, which I didn't think she was terrible in, she did lie to Daniel, but I think there was decent reason behind it. I feel like that was just there so the writers could be like, right, so Wes is going to get mad now and become a villain. I really don't think Luciana is a horrible character. She might not be in anyone's favourite list, but, you know, I don't think she's not in my dislike list. But this is about her death, and I sadly think that she is gonna die. Okay, so Strand, absolutely not. Couple reasons behind this. First of all, Strand is a character that has so much potential for a spin-off. It just is written in the stars. He needs to have a spin-off. And maybe the spin-off would be with Madison, or it would be his own thing, or maybe his own thing with another character or two. But Strand deserves his own spin-off. So even that reason alone would be enough to say let's not kill him off. But then, he wasn't killed off in Season 7. He was the main villain in Season 7. And there are so many chances for him to be killed off. So, basically, Strand's not going to die. And if he is, that's absolutely fine. But it makes zero sense. Because they should have just killed him off in Season 7. And then, at least by the end, you know, Strand, it would be shocking. It'd be shocking. We'd be like, oh wow, Strand became a villain and he actually died because of it. And I get the Alicia episode, but no, I'm not having it. Strand, I don't think he's gonna die. Daniel, just like Luciana, I think that he is gonna die. It's another sad decision that I have to make, that I think that he's gonna die. Again, I don't want him to die, but I think he will. I think him and Luciana will die, in terms of some OG cast members. It's sad, but they both have been sidelined. Daniel has had character assassination with his dementia, which it's fair enough. But it just wasn't the right character to give that story to. I don't think it is. I mean, you've just ruined this fierce character that Dave Erickson built up from the first 3 seasons to bring him back in season 5 and just assassinate his character. It's horrible. But sadly, I do think that Daniel will die. I think that because of his condition, he won't be able to have a spin-off. And he can live out the rest of his days in the Fear the Walking Dead universe. For example, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't ever think we'll see Ezekiel again. But the way The Walking Dead ended, it looked like Ezekiel was the leader of the Commonwealth, and so if we never see him again, he can live out the rest of his days as the leader of the Commonwealth. But, you know, and with Daniel, I think maybe he can live the rest of his days in the Fear the Walking Dead universe, but honestly, I'd rather him die just so we can at least get peace with his character, because it's just upsetting. Alright, so June. Personally, I think that June... no. I don't think that she will die. Because June is the last of the Dorys. You know, she was married to John Dory. Her dad was John Dory Sr. And June was never a horrible character. There were times where I didn't like her, but that was in season 4 and 5, and that is season 4 and 5. She had one of the best moments in the show. I say one of, there is so many, but where she killed Virginia. I mean, that was just like... It was just like, finally. Like, it was just fantastic. And then... She's just an alright character. I feel like I could see her in a spin-off as well. So no, I don't think June will die. Okay, so Dwight. I think that either maybe or no. I'm going to lean more towards no, because I like Dwight, and he's definitely come from a long journey. From him being a villain in The Walking Dead to everywhere he's seen in Fear the Walking Dead being, you know, a good guy. And possibly with him having a kid with Sherry, possibly. If the kid comes through or Sherry doesn't die or whatever, then I think that we could also see a spin-off with Dwight. I think that Dwight won't die. But there is always that chance that he might, but I don't think he will. Now, to me, Sherry is definitely a maybe. I think that Sherry is obviously carrying the child, but it's whether she loses the child or whether her death causes the loss of her and the child. I don't know, but I think that she might die. It would be sad, but we've had so much time of them Dwight trying to find Sherry, and then now they're together. And how would it feel if Sherry died? But on the other hand, I'm like, well, you know, if the kid is going to be a kid and that possibly opens spin-offs with Dwight and not everyone like that, then yeah, maybe Sherry wouldn't die. Maybe they would be a happy couple. And if it's not broke, don't fix it necessarily. I know with The Walking Dead that doesn't make sense, but I could see I could see Sherry staying alive or dying. It's really either or for me. Now, Wendell is very interesting. I think a maybe with Wendell. He has been sidelined a bit. We haven't really seen much of him in season 6 and 7. I don't know whether that was because the actor was doing other things or whether it was just because that's what the showrunners were doing. But there is every chance that Wendell is gonna live, and there's every chance that he won't live. I think it's just too hard to tell with a character like Wendell because there's no harm and no story that's going to be pushed if he does die. So maybe there's no need for it. I mean, I guess there is a story with him and Sarah, but I just don't think that he will die. But then I think, well, it could push Sarah's story, I guess. So I don't know. Anything's possible. Sarah for me is another maybe, though I do lean more towards the yes, but I have to say maybe. I think the two brother and sisters, Sarah and Wendell, I think they're very hard to tell. People don't like Sarah. I don't mind her. So in terms of that, but a lot of people don't like her. So that's a reason for the showrunners to kill her off. And it could push Wendell's story. Vice versa. If either of them die, they could push the story. But you would think that maybe Wendell disappearing, he could have just been dead and they could have pushed Sarah's story then. Or they could have had the roles flipped. I don't know. But it's a maybe. These two were really, really hard to tell. Grace, I think Grace is probably going to die. I think it's just the way it is. Grace is... she's an alright character. There are times where she's really annoying. I don't really care for her. I think that she's going to die. I feel like, sure, it would mean a lot to Morgan, but it wouldn't mean really anything to anyone else. Not even Mo, because as far as we're aware, or we don't really know if Mo even knows Grace or what, but I just think Grace is going to die. There isn't a huge reason for her to be alive besides Morgan, I guess. Charlie, I think that Charlie's already dead. There isn't really much more to say. Whether, you know, they try and say that she survived the radiation, I don't know. But she clearly got on a boat, which it makes sense. They wouldn't just leave her there. But that's a possibility that, like, she would live, that they did definitely bring her with her. But I don't think she'll live. I think she's already dead. And I think that that's the end of Charlie. Alicia, oh, she never died. I'm kind of saying this in terms of, I really don't think that she died in season 7. And so, using that knowledge that she's still alive, I also don't think that she's going to die in season 8. I know people think she'll be dead. It's a whole other conversation whether the Clark family are immune. And even a whole other conversation whether Alicia died in season 7. And I'm doing season 8 death predictions. But assuming that Alicia does live in season 7, I don't think that they are then going to kill her off in season 8. I think we will see her with a spin-off if she's alive. Maybe with Madison or without, I don't know. Maybe with another character from Fear or a whole new character, I don't know. But I definitely think that considering Alicia is alive in season 7, she will not be dead in season 8. And last, I have to talk about Nick. Nick, in all of our hearts, is not really dead. And so Nick will live on through us in season 8. Nick will never die. Nick is Fear the Walking Dead, even more than Madison. The Clark family are Fear the Walking Dead, but Nick is probably the most Fear the Walking Dead you can be. And so, through all of us, he lives on. He will not die in season 8. Justice for Nick. So, that's the video, guys. I hope that some of the kind of predictions I came up with are true. And I hope that the characters that I wished would die don't actually die. But I enjoyed making this video. It was good. I really enjoy thinking about Season 8 because I really have good hope that it will be a good season. There are some other characters I didn't mention. I don't think there are any main characters I forgot to mention. But, you know, there's like Rabbi Joseph Kessner. You know, he can die. That Emil, the bounty hunter's brother, he can die. I'm not too bothered about them. I just wanted to kind of talk about the main cast. If there is anyone forgot, I'll be really embarrassed. But sometimes you just forget, but I don't think I'm forgetting anyone. But, yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.